We've all heard of the power of I am, the power of determining your destiny and being your own inspiration, not having necessarily a GPS to be your guide, but being the one to inspire yourself to go in the right direction by learning from the mistakes that you've made and aspiring to do better every time you move forward. Why is this important? Well, for one, some of us have read The Power of Positive Thinking, for example, where they tell you it doesn't merely end with thinking those those positive thoughts, those optimistic thoughts. It goes beyond that. It goes to levels of action, implementation, decision making, taking the right leans and curbs and bends along the way, making the necessary mistakes and failing where you fail. So it's key to know that even though you're going to determine your life by declaring that I am strong, I am powerful, I am a leader, I have followers that look up to me, I have followers which I inspire because I am the greatest version of myself that I can be. You know that I always preach about being the greatest version of yourself that you can be. Nobody can be you better than you, right? So it doesn't just end with those nice affirmations or those nice incantations that you make. It goes way beyond that. And where it goes, it depends on you more than anything. You need to determine your life. You need to determine your path. You need to determine your future. You need to declare that I am strong. When you are sickly, you need to declare that I am healed and time shall be on my side. When you look forward to the future, then the future becomes what you decide for it to be. So, ladies and gentlemen, I say declare the I am that you are today. Move forward, lead, make the necessary strides in your life. The power of positive thinking. I remember the first time I was basically exposed to this phenomenon was back in Res. A friend of mine who used to share a room back in Res in university, in tertiary, at the University of Johannesburg, just to name drop and give them some publicity for free. So when we were there, I didn't have a computer, I didn't have a fridge. So he was so kind. We're still very close to this day. He was so kind and we used to share his resources. So one of the very first things that we watched on his PC, because bear in mind that as a student, one of the privileges that you have is that you share content via USB, right? And one of the first things that we shared amongst each other was the documentary The Secret. So The Secret is a well-known documentary worldwide that speaks about being, determining your own future, like the secret of if you want to be healthy. It gives you basically the A to, I wouldn't say Z or Z, but it gives you like the A to R, because it gives you the fundamentals for you to get there. So The Secret basically is about knowing that you determine largely, to a very large extent, where your future leads. You determine to a very large extent where you go in life. And it starts basically with the thoughts that you have. So if you think negatively, then chances are the negative thoughts that you think are going to take you and get you to a negative place. If you think positively, they are more than likely to advance you and take you to a positive place. If you apply your thoughts to your vision, to your goals, and you write down your objectives and follow them, you are likely to be more exposed to better opportunities because you did that. You are likely to be more exposed to meeting people that will build you up and people that will take you take you in the right course, the course that you are meant to be in, versus if you actually live a pessimistic life or a negative life and you concentrate more on those negative thoughts. So it's quite critical that we take the lessons from such documentaries, which are great pieces of work, such as The Secret, because, fundamentally, it teaches you about the basics of taking control of your own life. So whenever I think about all the negativity, the failures that I've gone through in life, failed relationships, failed business opportunities, failed ability to reach my goals in certain instances, I always know that I've gathered enough energy, enough optimism, enough goodwill, and enough networks to be able to take myself and elevate myself to the next level. And even more, I know that I've been exalted to a higher place than I was yesterday, because even the Bible, if you read Proverbs, it talks a lot about wisdom. And wisdom is knowing, it's basically knowing the things that you can change and the things that you can control versus things that you can't change. It also goes back basically to Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where he basically, in one of the habits, I can't now think at the top of my mind what the actual habit was, but the core principle behind it was basically knowing that you need to be proactive enough in concentrating on things that you can change, knowing the different zones, so things you have control over, things and areas of influence versus things that you have no control over. For example, we all know that we have no control over the weather, but it depends on you how you react if the weather is part of contrasting the plans that you have for that particular day, right? So that's just me sharing my thoughts, and hopefully I've given some perspective on the issue of living a positive life and venturing into a positive space. Thank you. Peace out. Shalom.